Simão Ventura from Portugal starts on P5 as the drivers leave the grid onto their rolling lap. So we have Simão Ventura in kart 226 alongside privateer driver Ben Waldridge, and from time to time the cameras will pan back in the paddock and you'll see this huge village of lorries, trucks and awnings as the drivers and teams, that's where they're based. But privateer drivers, well, they just turn up. Lad and Dad racing, or maybe Lad, Dad and one mechanic, small van, some of them rent awning space, they do their own thing, and it's great to see that there is still room for privateer drivers, family run outfits at this level of kart racing. And Ben Waldridge, who actually, at the number 247, Ben finished second in last year's junior championship, the 16-year-old from Ascot, and he is going to try and emulate that feat this year. On row number 4, João Ferreira from Portugal and Nicolas Baert from Belgium. Row number 5, Oliver Clark from the UK and Jan-Philipp Springom from Germany. From the UK, Patrick Kibble, and from Israel, Ido Cohen on row number 6. From Norway, Maria Soli Poulsen, and from Sweden, Isaac Valtonen on row number 7. Oliver Arenstedt from Sweden and Jacob Ang from the Philippines on row 8. And Jacob from the wonderfully titled Wak Wak Village, part of Mandaluyong City in the Philippines. He starts number 272 kart from the outside of row number 8. Baz Dalart and Bruno Ponte are on row number 9. Christian Hristov, the only Bulgarian driver we have here this weekend, and Stephen Lyle on row number 10. 20 drivers, 11 laps. And they're being led around by Milan Petelé on that regal blue, gold and white liveried Praga kart, alongside the pink, white and blue coloured number 212, the P1 Events driver Jana Gewurz on the Cosmic, no, that's a Gillard actually, it's a Gillard chassis underneath all that apparently. Here they come into the tram lines, Petelé bringing them nice and slowly. Are we going to get a start? Yes, we are. Off into turn number 1. Milan Petelé slowed the field down. Then he got the jump. It's a great jump from Petelé, who doesn't even have to defend into the first corner. Everyone gets through turn number 1, cleans it. Always a big bottleneck from about 7th place on back. And that was Oliver Clark in kart 251 getting sideways in front of about 15 drivers. And somehow everybody managed to not collect each other. But that means that the top 6, look at that gap, as the top 5 drivers in fact break away. Everybody else side by side, 2 and 3 wide into the bottom complex. But if you were in that top 5, you have got a huge jump. Oliver Clark, I think, down in about 6th or 7th place now, but he was lucky there not to get collected. He got tipped sideways going through turn number 2. It's Petelé, and up into 2nd place, that is Sutumno. So the Thai driver Tanaponpang Sutumno into P2, that's Super Windforce driver. Says he's on a Super Windforce kart, which I have to say is not one that's familiar to me. But whatever it is, it's going quite rapidly at the moment, because he is having a little sniff around the rear bumper of Petelé's kart as they go through turn number 3, out to turn number 5 now. And Sutumno has second thoughts and then loses a bit of momentum, ran a bit wide on the exit, and he gets swallowed up by Jana Gewurz and Ben Waldridge. So Gewurz and Waldridge and Rowan Grinwis are the top 5 that got away. Ido Cohen showing in 6th position at the moment. They're side by side for 4th place. It's Petelé still leading from Gewurz. Then it is Sutumno. No, it's actually Ben Waldridge by the looks of it. Sutumno getting past there into turn number 11 by Rowan Grinwis. And the top 3 now being able to break clear. So, Petelé, then the number 212 kart of Gewurz and the 247 of Waldridge going into turn number 1 now. Sutumno having to defend against Grinwis, but that's unsuccessful, and Grinwis takes over P4, and they're getting caught now by Ido Cohen, Oliver Clark, and number 261, that is Isaac Valtonen. Great start from Valtonen, from 14th on the grid up into 8th place. Battle for second. Wooldridge takes over P2. Petelet has been passed. It's Gewurz from Wooldridge. Gewurz now having to drive defensively through turn number 9. Ben Wooldridge has got a great run. Ben Wooldridge, the privateer driver, running on his own, taking the lead, although Gewurz comes back at him as they cross the start-finish line. And Petelet makes it 3 wide. Petelet to the inside. Wooldridge has to make do, and there's still 3 wide. Oh, Gewurz over the curb, and suddenly we've got a lead battle of 7 or 8 drivers. Wooldridge gets shuffled back to 4th as they go off to turn number 5 on lap 4. And there's the move. Petelet trying to get back at the inside. Oh, they're 3 wide down the back straight. That's number 2 through Rowan Grinwis on the inside. Grinwis under braking all this sideways. Petelet, they all somehow get through the button complex. Side by side again. Ido Cohen in kart number 235 there making a move. Clark is in there. Satumno's in there. Valtonen's in there. And Rowan Grinwis has emerged in P2. Gewurz leads. Grinwis second. Then it is Petelet. Clark now making a move. So Oliver Clark has picked up half a dozen places on this lap. He moves into P3 in the M Sport Kieran Crawley run number 251 kart. Petelet trying to fight back, and of course Oliver Clark is one of the lightest drivers, so he's got more lead on that kart than anywhere else, which means that he has to try and steer clear of the curbs because there's a lot more strain on the chassis because of the extra weight on the chassis, because Oliver is one of the lighter drivers. There's Ido Cohen making a move down at turn number 5, and I think that was on Milan Petelet for 4th place. So a strong run from Jordan Brown-Nutley's teammate Ido Cohen. Oh, and at the back of the pack there, just out of the corner of my eye, I saw somebody flirting with disaster going through the button complex there, because there are some barriers in the middle of that complex, and somebody got a bit too close for comfort. But up at the front, oh, there is Ben Wooldridge now getting shuffled aside. Ben Wooldridge was trying to stick his nose down the outside of Isaac Valtonen, I believe, and Valtonen just guided Wooldridge towards the outskirts of the track. Patrick Kibble making a move in the final corner, but up at the front it is number 212. Jana Gewurz trying to pull away. Fastest lap of the race has gone to Oliver Clark in that number 251 kart, and Clark is closing in on Rowan Grinwis. So Grinwis in kart number 223, the Peter de Bruyne racing driver, 16 years old, from Capelle in the Netherlands, in the second place, but he's under pressure from Clark. Will we see Clark look to the inside? No, we don't. Behind them, a gap back to Petelet and Cohen, then another gap back to João Ferreira, the Portuguese driver in kart 240. He is leading a train of 4 or 5 drivers that include the number 226 of Simão Ventura, his countryman. Satumno is down in 9th. Wooldridge has slipped all the way back to 10th now. There's Clark making a move on Grinwis for second. So Clark, the driver from Kings Lynn in Norfolk, moves into P2. We complete lap number 6. Clark head down. The gap is exactly 0.6 of a second between first and second. Can Oliver Clark close in on Jana Gewurz? Can he bring Rowan Grinwis with him? Behind the top 3 there is a gap back to Milan Petelet and Ido Cohen, but Petelet and Cohen know they're not out of this one yet, because if Clark does catch the lead when they start the battle, that will draw the 4th and 5th place drivers in. Behind the 4th and 5th place drivers, João Ferreira on that Mad Croc kart, the only driver here this weekend on a Mad Croc chassis. He is doing extremely well, the Portuguese driver, running as a privateer, along with help from Dinamica Parella. Satumno in 7th and Ventura in 8th. The leaders come around turn number 12. Just getting a signal there. Come on, push. Gewurz under pressure. Clark to the inside. Oh, Clark squeezes to the inside there. Gewurz was coming across to take the racing line, and Oliver Clark, he thought that is a Tony Kart size gap, and I will put my Tony Kart right there on the curb. And he takes the lead as we run lap number 8. Now Gewurz will come back at him though. Gewurz down the back straight, although Clark is defending into the button complex. That is going to slow him down through turn number 7 and into turn number 8. And Gewertz not able to close in. Rowan Greenwies is right there. So the driver in that very dark orange and black liveried kart with the predominantly orange crash helmet. Greenwies, so it's actually red, but it looks orange on the screen. He is there. Then it is Peterle closing in 4th place. Cohen having a great drive, the Israeli driver, in 5th. But the lead battle is on. Gewertz returns the favour on Clark, but Clark cuts straight back. The crisscross move. Now Clark tries to squeeze Gewertz, but Gewertz having none of it. And Clark actually loses 2nd place to Greenwies there. And just Peterle closing in inch by inch. This is what Milan Peterle wanted, and it's what Ido Cohen wanted as well. So it's Gewertz back in front, Greenwies 2nd, Clark is 3rd. And then it is Peterle and Cohen. Long gap back to the Mad Croc kart with that, it's a light grey coloured chassis with a red stripe down the front of it. That is João Ferreira holding off Sutumno, Waldridge, and the number 226 kart. Oh, and a battle of a second going into turn number 9. Clark had to think about it, and he's lost the position to Peterle. Well, that was a bit of a half-hearted manoeuvre, I've got to say, for Oliver Clark. He didn't fully commit to it, or rather he thought about it, then realised this isn't on, it's cost him a place. Peterle up into 3rd. Gewertz still leads as we run lap number 10 out of 11 through turn number 2, through turn 3. Now Gewertz, Greenwies, Peterle, Clark and Cohen. Jana Gewertz some 20 kart lengths clear of Rowan Greenwies as they enter the back straight for the penultimate time. Gewertz, a quick check over his shoulder. He sees that Greenwies is not in a position to attack him, so he doesn't therefore need to defend into the button complex. Doesn't need to defend into this corner, turn number 8. Now down the infield straight, you can see Gewertz pushing on there, just trying. You think, why is he ducking down? Well, it's aerodynamic efficiency. Even if it's for a second, it could help. On to the start finish line. Gewertz leads, Clark defending from 3rd as we begin the final lap. Clark back in 3rd at the expense of Peterle. Peterle trying to make a move. Clark defending. Cohen is there. This is allowing Greenwies and the race leader Jana Gewertz to break clear, and you can see that one defensive manoeuvre there from Oliver Clark has opened the gap up to about a dozen kart lengths or so to Rowan Greenwies. So Clark is focusing on staying in 3rd, not fighting for 2nd. Peterle having to defend from Cohen. And then a gap back to Sutumno is back into 6th position on the Super Windforce team machine. But Jana Gewertz comes into turn number 9. No pressure from Rowan Greenwies. And Gewertz, the driver, this is one of his home tracks, the Belgian driver, will take the victory as they come on to the start-finish straight. He checks over his shoulder. He wins for Belgium. Greenwies finishes in 2nd place. Clark takes 3rd. Peterle comes home in 4th place. The poleman finishing in 4th. Ido Cohen finishes in 5th position. A strong drive there from Ido after watching his teammate Jordan Brown-Nutley win. The Israeli driver finishes in the top 5. Tanaponpang Sutumno finishes in 6th position. And then it is João Ferreira. Good drive there from João, the Portuguese privateer, in 7th place. Fellow privateer Ben Waldridge comes home in 8th place. Simão Ventura is 9th, and Isaac Valtonen from Sweden rounds out the top